All right, so we're kind of picking up where we left off from last time because the response was so great. And so we thought we'd touch on, at least on this one right here, the experience with just depression. We'll touch on anxiety, whatever else. I think they're kind of tied in anyways, but, we want to focus on depression, what that feels like, what we've experienced with that. So, of course, I got my guy, Stress, back. The response was so well received with him. So, I definitely had to have him back on here to talk about, just depression alone. So what you got for us, my brother?
I think that people are kind of like, in a way, they exploit it a little bit, or depression, or some people will be like, oh, I got depression. I just have depression. And I feel like people will be like, I have depression because I don't have any money.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not what it is. Like, you can have depression and be rich. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And a lot of times people like associate it with having things, or I broke up with my girl, I broke up with my dude, now I have depression. That can happen. It definitely can happen, but it's like, I feel like I'm not a doctor, so I can't really explain exactly to the T what it is, but I know physically or mentally in your mind, you can just be, I know I can just be all hyped up at a party or whatever, be around a whole bunch of people, and as soon as they leave, then I feel down.
Right.
And I feel like I want to just lay in the bed, or I just feel like everything was really, really bright, and all the colors and everything seemed really bright. But then now everything just seems dark. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it goes back to what you were saying. When the lights shut off, lights turn off, and you're by yourself, and you're in your head. That's when it hits you the most. Now, I know for me, my battle with depression have been that feeling of not being able to add up, or feeling like I should be at a different level in my life. But again, I mean, there's so many things make me depressed. I mean, I can go back as far as my childhood. I think of the things that happened to me. I'm just like, I'm so depressed from that, because the feeling of not having a mom and a dad, and not understanding why, they didn't choose to want to be that for me, it gives me this sense of depression.
I mean, I think that a lot of people will get that depressed feeling, or like feel like you're depressed because you're trying to keep up with the Joneses, or you're trying to oh, my brother has a boat, I want a boat.
Right.
Or my cousin has
a
brand new house, I want a brand new house. But a lot of times what people don't understand is, when you're looking on Instagram, or you're looking on Facebook, and you're looking at all these people with all these things, sometimes these people have a sponsor, and their sponsor is their parents.
Right.
Or they have someone to co-sign, or I don't have anyone to co-sign anything. So it's like, you're looking at that, you're looking at the big house, and you're looking at the cars, and you're looking at the boats, and you're looking at all this stuff, which is someone helped them get it. And another thing is, what I learned is, I don't value things. Like, I like nice things, that's cool. It's like, oh, I have a nice car, that's cool. Or you have a nice house, that's cool.
Right.
But if you have nobody in the house, if you have no one to ride with you in the car, if you have no kids, like, you just have this car, you're just going to go outside and wax the car every day. You know what I mean? All the things, I came to the point in my life where I'm like, I see people flashing money, and like, I got this. And I'm like, that's cool, but it doesn't fulfill me.
Right.
It just doesn't. I don't know why. Like, I used to. It definitely used to.
I think we were younger. Yeah.
No, not even. It's not even. And I think it's the age, but it's not even the age. It's the experience. It's not the age, because I know people the same age as me that are on the same shit.
True that. And I'm only speaking from my experience. When I was younger, I felt like I had to do that.
Yeah.
As I got older, and I realized, you know what, I'm just trying to fit in to everything that I'm seeing. You know what I mean? And
exactly.
I think a lot, like you were saying, a lot of people would do that. Where, a lot of these posts on Instagram or just social media in general, like it's cool because you can throw a filter on there. It's cool because you can pretend that life is just dandy, but away from that, people have problems just like we do. And I feel like, for me at least, Mine's is something I was afraid to talk about.
Yeah.
I thought made me crazy.
Yeah.
You know, because when I did share it with somebody who I was in a relationship with, they did make me feel like I was crazy.
Yeah.
You know, they didn't understand that. And I was too proud to go get some help from somebody at that time. You know, I'm not a person, like I said before, I don't take pills. And so, you know, I probably should have sought some help earlier, you know, speaking to a counselor. So I said, if you feel that, don't be afraid to go out and talk to somebody. Get some help, because you don't even realize the effect that not only does it that it not only has on you, but your friends and your family. It's a struggle for them as well, having to deal with someone who's up and down like that.
And people got to understand that we are in the computer and Instagram. Yes. We're in that age of like, so everything is a filter.
Yeah.
So like when you see things on Instagram, like that girl doesn't really look like that.
Right.
And that car doesn't look like that. And everything is like, you know, I've been like since like 14 or 15, I had to see a counselor. Like even earlier than that, like probably like 3rd, 4th grade, I was having to see a counselor.
Yeah.
They were giving me pills. They just feeding me all these different pills, and I'm a zombie at school for years. And then they're like, but they never said it was depression. They'll be like, oh, he's hyperactive.
Right.
But I'm not a hyperactive person.
Right.
So like, you know, the talking to someone does help. It helps, but it only helps certain people. Like, I feel like if I talk to somebody, it doesn't all the way help me, because I don't want to tell somebody all my business.
Right.
Or you know what I mean? It's just like, I'm a man, so I'm not going to sit and tell a lady that I don't know all my business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, you know, sometimes you got to confide in maybe the person that you love, like the woman that you love, or if your boy, or if it's a girl, your boyfriend, if you trust them, maybe you can confide in them. Sometimes that doesn't work, because sometimes then they start judging you.
Right.
And then
or hold it against you later on.
I've dealt with that. Down the road, then they start saying, oh, and then you maybe might catch them on the phone like, oh, this motherfucker's crazy. Or something like I'm just saying. And then now you're back to you're in a place where you're like, damn, I trusted her.
Right.
And I told her this, and then, you know, but if you find somebody, you got to find somebody, maybe an older person, maybe not your parent, maybe someone
you can trust.
You can trust, but maybe outside of your family.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or maybe someone that you're not dealing with every day, but sometimes it is the person that you love. Sometimes it might be your girl, because that's why sometimes you see people and you'll be wondering, like, damn, they're close, like they're super, like they're attached at the hip.
Right.
And sometimes that's why they're attached at the hip, because they tell each other everything, and they're working through it together. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would honestly say don't wait to talk to somebody. You know, you're not alone. I've dealt with this for so long where I felt like I was alone.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of feel like, you know, I'm in this little box, and you know, and the walls are caving in on me. That feeling of depression can be so deep, so dark, and if you don't get help right away, if you don't talk to somebody, it can lead to things that are far worse than that. That's why you have, you know, I mean, suicide rate is forever gonna be high. It's always been high, but you know, until you can learn to talk to somebody, it's just gonna get worse and worse and worse. And if that means taking pills, if that means therapy, whatever it takes to live a normal life and be happy. You know, you only get this one life to live.
Exactly. And then I want to chime in on that. It's like all the younger people out there, I feel like you only get, I was telling my boy this the other day, I'm like, you only get one life. Something had happened. Oh, a girl I know or whatever, a younger girl, she had got shot.
Mm-hmm.
And then she was like telling me like, oh, I got shot. And I was like, but she was laughing.
Yeah.
So I was like,
I'm not.
That's not. No, I was like, funny. That's not funny.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And I started to think like, oh, it's funny to you because you think that it's a video. This is a video game,
right?
But like, you only get one chance. You can die so fast and so easy, and then it's over. So you can't treat. This is not virtual reality. It's real life. So, like, if you're taking all these pills or you're doing all this dangerous shit, like it can end like that, and then it's just over. You know what I mean?
I mean, you know, it's as hard as life. I mean, life is challenging. Especially what we're going through right now with the COVID thing, and being locked in. I can say when COVID hit, it only took me a few days to be like, oh my God, like what am I gonna do now? I'm sitting here. That depression hit me hard because now I was like, I had to slow everything down. Life slowed down for me.
Yeah.
But I do say this though, I've also learned to like love life even more because I'm realizing just how short it is. Obviously because of COVID and
Exactly.
the death rate because of COVID. But as hard as it is for me, this is what works for me is I just have to look outside and I think to myself, like what a beautiful creation life is. Like trees and hills and just man-made things. You only get to live it one time, and once it's gone, it's gone. And so I want to live mine to the absolute fullest. And so I not only do I just like I had a conversation about creating a vision board. So I attach my goals and dreams to certain things and people, but try that. I attach everything I do right now to my 2-year-old son. I have other children and they're grown and stuff, but with him it's almost like I got that fresh start again. I had my kids so young. I was a super young teenage dad, and I feel like now as this adult who knows better, and I have that fresh start again. And so I've attached every goal, everything that motivates me to this little boy. I cannot fail him. And even though I'm battling depression and anxiety, I look at him and I say, I have a bigger reason to live. I have to make sure that he's set, give him an amazing life while I'm still here. But again, life is so short to not live it to its absolute fullest, no matter what's going on.
That's definitely true. And I think anyone out there that's battling depression, surround yourself with people that are happy and people that enjoy life. And another thing that hella helps me is stay busy.
Oh yeah.
That's like a big thing, because once you're not doing anything and you're just sitting there, that's when all the thoughts start coming in your head, and everything is wrong and whatever. But if you stay busy, like maybe write down tasks of what you have to do, even if you don't have to do nothing. Just like, I got to go to the grocery store. I got to do this. I got to you have to train your brain to have a lot of things going on, because when you're idle, that's when you start getting into that place where it's dark, because I'm a what do you call it? I stay to myself a lot.
Right.
So I've never been
introvert.
I'm super introvert. I've never been like an outgoing, like a super friendly, nice person. I'm just that's just not me.
Right.
So I'm naturally to myself, but sometimes I do go out around people, because you can't just be to yourself all the time. Because if you're to yourself all the time, you will go crazy. You will literally go crazy, because you'll be like, you're having no interaction. I mean, I hang out with my son a lot and everything, but sometimes I'll just shut down and not be around anybody.
Right. I think sometimes that's healthy to shut down.
It is, but I'm talking about sometimes I go from long periods of not being around anybody.
Right.
And sometimes I don't want to be around anybody. Sometimes I don't want to be judged. Sometimes I don't want to be I don't like being around people and they're looking at my shoes. What shoes are those? And what car did you come in? Because I'm an artist, so
they expect
it's a whole. It's a whole. There's way more layers than just having depression.
Right.
It's having depression, then going to pull up to someone's house, and then they're looking at the car you're in.
Right.
And then what have you done lately? And how much did you make? How much did you make from doing that? And where's your girl? Or
right.
This is a different girl, or this is another girl. It's just it's a lot more than people understand that comes with the lifestyle of being an artist. It's it's so much more. That's why you see all these artists on drugs or committing suicide, or you know what I mean? Because it's a lot. You have to have really thick skin.
I totally understand that, but as we close out, because we can do this forever, and we will continue to. There's going to be other stuff we're going to touch on because we've been asked to. I love the response. Again, we're no doctors. This is just, we're speaking from our experience, and we are also, at that point in our lives right now where we're seeking things to help us deal with what we're dealing with inside. And so again, I encourage you to, if this helps you, seek some help, talk to somebody. Don't be afraid. Don't feel like you're alone. Reach out to someone that you trust, like Stress was saying earlier. But the most important thing is, get the help. Get the help. Anyway, is there anything else you want to say on the close out of this thing? We're gonna keep coming back.
Nah,
but this is,
I'm good.
This is what you asked for. We're going to deliver it, and we got a lot more topics coming after this. Thank you for watching us.
Thank you.
And if you don't follow him yet, if you didn't see the last video that we did, follow him now. And I will say this: I'm going to keep the environment kind of like this on the closeout of this. Not that it bothers me, but the last time, the last video we put up, there was a comment that came to me, where the person said, you guys would reach a lot more people if it was more professional and so on and so on. I'm not going to change what we're doing right now because this to me feels real. And I think that this connects with people even better. So you'll see us doing a lot more stuff like this, unless we're out somewhere. But this is real to me. And I want to continue to give you guys the most realist thing that we can deliver. So on that, I appreciate you guys. Follow my guy StresMatic on IG. How do you spell that? Because I always misspell it.
At StresMatic.
I always put an extra S. All right.